Welcome to the Skeena Beat. It is the 3rd of June, 2013, and I am your host, Skeena, and we've got a great show for you today with This Day in History, Weird Fact of the Day, and of course, our email and tweets segment. But first, I'd like to thank all those who visited our blog this last week, and all those who have written in as well. We love it when our audience is involved in our podcast. Also a reminder to all of you out there that you don't need a question to write in. You can send us a photo, send us your opinion on anything you want, send comments, or even just write in to say hi. We love to hear from our audience, so send us an email, send us a tweet. You can send us an email to theskeenabeat@gmail.com or send us a tweet. We're on Twitter at theskeenabeat. Now it's time for This Day in History. On this day in 1098, Christian crusaders of the First Crusade seized Antioch in Turkey. On this day in 1920, Benito Mussolini granted women the right to vote in Italy. On this day in 1856, Cullen Wimple patented the screw machine. On this day in 1932, the musical The Bandwagon opened in New York City. On this day in 1967, the Doors' hit Light My Fire was released. And finally, on this day in 1955, the New York Knickerbockers became the first baseball team to wear uniforms. And that's it for This Day in History. Coming up next, Weird Fact of the Day. I'm sure you've all heard the phrase, an elephant never forgets. But is this statement true? Well, let me tell you about a report by Carol Buckley at the Elephant Sanctuary in Hohenwald, Tennessee. In 1999, resident elephant Jenny became anxious and could hardly be contained when introduced to newcomer Shirley, an Asian elephant. As the animals checked each other with their trunks, Shirley too became animated, and the two seemingly old friends had what appeared to be an emotional reunion. There was a euphoria, Sanctuary founder Buckley said. Shirley started bellowing, and then Jenny did too. Both trunks were checking out each other's scars. I've never experienced anything that intense without it being aggression. It turns out that the two elephants had briefly crossed paths years earlier. Buckley knew that Jenny had performed with the traveling Carsons and Barnes circus before coming to the sanctuary. But she knew little about Shirley's background. She did a little digging and discovered that Shirley had been in the circus with Jenny for a few months 23 years earlier. Now that's remarkable recall power. I mean, how many people that you worked with for a few months 23 years ago do you remember? And that is our Weird Fact of the Day. Now time to shoot it over to some emails and tweets. Our first email is from June in Milwaukee. And June writes, I worked for a few years in journalism, but I went back to school 5 years ago to study to become a teacher. Since graduation, I've lost interest in teaching as well. How do I pick up the pieces to get my life back on track? Well, June, the first thing you need to do is think about what it is that has attracted you to teaching in journalism in the first place. That's the key. The best thing to do would be to make a list of all the things that attracted you to those jobs, and then, if those reasons are still important to you, go out and pursue something in that field. However, if they're not, maybe it's time to move on to something else. So good luck to you, June. And we have a tweet from Joan in Kitchener, Ontario. And Joan's tweet says, "Hi Skeena, I need to know what wine to serve a king crab." Okay, Joan. Your best choice would be, I'd say, an off-dry Riesling. I would suggest an Australian Riesling from a well-established estate. It would pair very nicely with the crab. So good luck, Joan. And we have a tweet from Brittany in Houston. And Brittany writes, "Hey Skeena, love your podcast. Hope you post my picture." And Brittany has sent us a picture of herself sitting on the side of a boat in a red and white flowered bikini. So Brittany, you look great. So thank you, Brittany. We always love to hear from our fans. We love it when they send us pictures. And I'll make sure to post your picture. And we have an email. And I apologize beforehand, I am not an expert on names or place names, so bear with me. Our email is from Arif in Dhaka, Bangladesh. And it says, "I read what you told Bushra in Lahore, Pakistan. I did not know if I should go back to school, but have decided to go now." Well, good for you, Arif. For those of you who haven't listened to that episode of our podcast yet, or visited our blog to read the emails and tweets, Bushra was asking for advice on going back to school. Anyways, good luck to you, Arif, with going back to school. And that is it for emails and tweets for today. Remember that all emails, tweets, and pictures will be posted on our blog, theskeenabeat.blogspot.com. And I want to thank all those who did write in and encourage all of you out there to write in as well. It doesn't matter if you have a question or not. Send us a picture, a comment, your opinion on anything at all, a video clip, audio clip, any kind of media. Send it to us. We want it. And we'll include it in our podcast and post it on our blog. You can send it in to theskeenabeat@gmail.com or send us a tweet on Twitter @theskeenabeat. Well, that's it for the Skeena Beat today. Before I go, I do want to thank all of those who viewed our blog yesterday. So thank you to everyone in Nepal, Russia, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, United States, Thailand, China, Canada, the Philippines, Pakistan, Guatemala, Mexico, Bangladesh, and India. Thank you to all those who viewed our blog yesterday. Until next time, this is your host Skeena saying have a great day and goodbye.